Another life till the morning.
Hey guys, this is Chauncey from Good Music to Know, and I spent the last few days deep inside Planet Weekend. It's honestly unlike anything I've experienced in a while. This album feels like stepping into a surreal theme park built from memory, nostalgia, heartbreak, and chaos, where every ride takes you somewhere unexpected. From skits to gut-punch lyrics, fuzzy synths, and stripped-back ballads, Dirty Nice has built an entire world with this record, and we are super stoked to have him here. So welcome, guys.
Oh yeah, thank you for that intro.
So nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I've definitely spent the last few days immersed in Planet Weekend. Not just the album, but like the skits and the comic, which is awesome, and just like the overall mood and feel. It feels like you've built a world where absurdity, beauty, nostalgia, and melancholy kind of like all crash into each other. So can you talk about the original seed of the idea? Was it always meant to be an amusement park, or did that kind of evolve over time?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. Mark, do you remember when the beginning of Planet Weekend came about? I remember originally it was like we had a bunch of songs that felt like a concept was coming together about a relationship over the course of a weekend, and then some of the imagery started to take shape, and it became a bit like spacey, and slowly we're like, maybe this should just sort of be a metaphorical planet. And then off the back of that, the comics and the animations we were doing just fed directly into that. And then just we kept building and building and building and putting things together until, much like gravity, it became a planet.
Nice. I think my version of remembering it is exactly what you said. Those first few songs, and then we had that song, If I Was Abducted by Aliens, which is where that space theme came in. And we were like, what do we do with this song? But because it was a new sort of style for us, and we were almost like, is this song for us? We both really loved the song. And then I think that for me was when we first started then just like riffing about like how these songs could exist together, and then that world.
What made you want to tie this album to like the physical comic book, which I wish more people would do, because that's pretty sick.
That came about kind of again, sort of by chance and just by experimenting. Like, we'd done animations with our socials because it was just the fun thing to do that we liked doing, and people seemed to enjoy it. And we wanted to tie it in with the music better, so it wasn't this kind of confusing thing.
Yeah.
And then I just did a comic one day, and it got like millions of views on TikTok. And so we were like, well, I guess we'll just do comics until they stop, you know. So and then they just kept doing them. I was just about finishing them now, like this Planet Weekend kind of arc, and it was quite fun because you're just slowly able to piece together little Easter eggs from this song or that song or this story, and like make it seem like it's all been thought through from the beginning, more or less.
Yeah.
More or less, we're just blindly feeling about in the dark.
Yeah, and what I really like are the little skits or the announcements kind of before each section. How did you go about writing and recording these moments? Was it kind of scripted early on, or was it built around the music?
That was like at the very end of the whole album process. We were doing a final few days on adding in extra instruments just to make some of the sounds more cohesive across the songs and just make it feel more like one thing. And then we'd wanted to do an album with skits for forever, and we were like, well, this is obviously the one. So we just spent like a day watching loads of 90s like theme park trailers and adverts, and copying and rewriting the copy to make it fit our thing, and just experimenting with what would an advert for Planet Weekend look like, sound like.
But then also it was just like, because it's just the two of us going mad in a room basically in the studio, so it's like usually whatever makes us laugh, and then we just sort of riff on the story, and it just goes and goes and goes, and then we're like, okay, let's record it. I think this is good.
It kind of had this old school Twilight Zone feel to it, like the Twilight Zone introduction with that like ominous voice. Yeah, it was really neat. So like, is there a deeper meaning behind the park breaking down? So I know the Ferris wheel gets stuck, and then the newscaster is reporting people refusing to leave. So it starts, I think the first half of the album feels like it starts with like fun escapism, but then there's like a slow shift maybe towards the second half of like existential unease. So was that intentional, that kind of shift, or did that kind of just progress as he wrote the songs naturally?
I think existential unease, as you put it, is kind of runs through everything, and we just find it funny. So yeah, I mean, by the point of doing the deluxe album as well, we also had lived with the story for ages and lived with the music, how the music relates, and had sort of come up with where it could go with the comic books and everything. So we're just laying down Easter eggs. They may pay off, they may not in the future, but yeah, like the whole thing burning down as well just felt appropriate. It is escapism, but you can't just live on Planet Weekend forever. You have to leave eventually, otherwise you go mad.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I really like is that the album shifts so much sonically. There's the amazing falsetto harmonies that you have, then there's the VHS fuzz and the ominous skit. So how do you balance experimentation with cohesion when building an album like this? Because it all still, if you listen to it from start to finish, it all still tells a story that very much so fits together, which is nice.
It's funny because when you say that, but when we look at it, sometimes it's like, it's so uncohesive. What are we doing? We suck. And there's a lot of that. But I think, yeah for sure, of everything we made today, this feels like the most cohesive. And I think it's like what Charlie said. I guess with the instrumentation and things like that, we tend to sort of go back over the songs, have like lots of songs done to, I guess, like 90%, and then go back in and then maybe add some instruments that are cohesive here and there. But for sure, it's like there's definitely moments where like this just makes no sense with this, and we just have to go back to the drawing board. So like, I think we're forever working on that.
You know, trying to write an album as a piece with intention at the beginning, and in this day and age is quite hard because you're constantly chucking things on TikTok or whatever to see what sticks, and you never know what type of song. And also we're kind of magpies when it comes to doing, you know, you'll want to do this type of song or that type of song, and I like keeping it open so that we can kind of try out any style of music if we want to, any at all. But then it does make it hard to make sure it doesn't just feel like experiments and feel intentional.
Yeah. That's why I think the skit introductions helped as well to tie the story together, because it kind of gives you maybe a bit of a precursor for what you're about to hear in the next chapter. So I really liked it. And then which Planet Weekend attraction would you most want to get stuck on in real life? And which one would you run from?
Nice.
That's very good. That's a good question.
You go first, Charlie?
I'm thinking, it's in the comics. In the comics, some of them will get pretty horrible.
I guess based on just the music, I like the idea of being stuck on a Ferris wheel for 24 hours with someone that you like. Maybe, actually. Maybe that's not very nice. But I mean, it's on paper it's nice until like,
well, in the comic he gets stuck on the Ferris wheel for like hundreds of years.
Oh god.
Yeah, I think maybe the alien abduction ride.
That literally has a butt probe reference in it though.
No, it says butt probes may or may not be used.
Okay.
Big risk you're taking, but yeah.
There you go.
This isn't exclusive, so I don't think anyone has. We've made it so distorted that you can't really tell that we're saying that. Maybe we shouldn't have. Puerile silliness.
And if there were a Planet Weekend Volume 2, where would you want to take it next? Would the park evolve, or would it burn down and become something entirely different?
The comic itself, we're on like chapter 60 now, which is like about to finish the entire Planet Weekend story. It does end, and where it goes, there's some clues to where it goes. So I'll have to leave that to people to find out in the comics.
Yeah, you're on chapter 60.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's a deep. When you start digging, it just keeps going.
That's amazing.
Volume 5, chapter 60. Yeah.
It's like the Black Mirror for amusement parks. Awesome. So what's up next for you guys for 2026? What's on the agenda? Do you have any shows, any gigs? I know you just released the album, but any new music coming out? What's this year looking like for you?
We're doing a load of shows. Summer onwards, we're doing a bunch of festivals. mainly all in the UK. And then the music stuff, we're working on the next album. I mean, we're always writing, so it's just working on the next thing, trying to keep it cohesive, and it's really not right now. So God knows where it's gonna go. But yeah, more music, some live shows. Anything else, Charlie?
Yeah, like more with more animations and comics and stuff as well. We'll maybe tie in with the next sort of phase. Yeah, just
We're
figuring.
hopefully gonna have a stand at Comic-Con. Sorry.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, we've applied. We'll see.
We replied. If you're listening.
Yeah.
That's it.
But this upcoming album, will it also have like a cool theme like we had with the amusement park? Will it be theme based, or is it just?
We don't know yet, but a while ago I was convinced I knew, and I put in some Easter eggs like into the end of Planet Weekend. Like at the very end, you'll hear like some elephants, and that is a clue to an idea I had and was pretty sure about. But now we've started writing loads of more music. Who knows?
Okay, I have to go back and listen. I didn't hear elephants. I think I just heard it sounded like the track just burned, or that the effect of the tape burning. But now I have to go back and hear the elephants.
There is one elephant in there. Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
And what do you hope listeners maybe take away after listening to the album in its entirety?
I guess music can be silly. Our version of music, it can be silly, and it can be a fun story that you can follow along. That's not a very good answer.
Yeah.
Charlie, have you got anything?
I'm thinking, because obviously a good time, you want them to have left having a good time, and it is a roller coaster, excuse the pun. There's a lot of fun and games and silliness, but there's also some more emotional stuff. So I guess the obvious answer would be to feel like they've been taken on a ride.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very cool. But no, I think those were the main questions that I had for you guys. But are there any final words that you would like to leave with the listeners and your fans?
Just thank you for listening, and thank you for engaging with all our weirdness and like the things that we're trying to do. Yeah.